Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess first question that I've got is with regards to the safety of transporting the oil. Is there a problem with safety with regards to transporting it? Mr. Booker, you build them.
The pipeline would be the safest method that you could deliver oil. Okay. This distance, this amount of barrels a day, there is no other there isn't a safer way to transport the oil than putting it in a pipeline.
What kind of safety precautions do you put in place when you build a pipeline like this?
I mean, in this particular pipeline, they've gone above and beyond. They put 57 additional. Part of that is they have sensors all along the route. It's going to be monitored 24 hours a day. So if there's a drop in pressure at the control center for TransCanada, they'll be able to shut off the pipeline to mitigate any type of spills that would happen.
You know, we have in this country with the Alaskan pipeline, we have another pipeline to look at. I think that's within the last few years it's been built. That was built, you know, for a specific purpose to transport oil long distances. And you know, what's your experience been with regards to that? Are you aware of any problems with regards to Alaskan pipeline, or
not that I'm aware of?
Concerns?
Not that I'm concerned. I mean, when you look at the alternatives, a pipeline versus what's happening today is that they're putting it on the back of rail cars, and they're transporting the oil on the back of a rail car, and the pipeline is a huge number of times more safe than putting it on the back of a rail car. I'm not familiar if there being any accidents, major spills with the Alaskan pipeline.
I know that the Russians have built a big pipeline across Russia and Europe to deliver oil over there. How's that working out? Do they have any problems with that one? Are you aware of it?
I'm not aware of any.
Okay. Mr. Knettel, you talked about greenhouse gas, which kind of stirred me here a little bit. Can you elaborate a little bit longer on your comments that you made with regards to greenhouse gas? You thought that this was a better way to approach, less greenhouse gas? If you look at the transportation of other methods and the way that the oil is refined, is that basically what you said?
The main thrust of that point is that the policy debate has focused on comparing tar sands with the average oil refined in the U.S., and that's just the wrong metric. The counterfactual or the alternative story that you would like to say is suppose we didn't have the Keystone XL pipeline, so tar sands production decreased. The question is what oil will replace that tar sands? And it's not the average oil sold in the U.S. It's very likely to be Venezuelan heavy oil, which actually has about a 17% or is dirtier than tar sands. The analogy that I was going to use if I had the time was it's like me telling my son he can't have a bag of chips because potato chips are worse than his typical food, only to see him put the chips away and grab an ice cream sandwich to eat. That's the comparison. The real comparison is what oil will this tar sands oil replace? And there's very good reason to believe that it would actually replace oil that's even dirtier on a greenhouse gas emissions basis.
Okay, so we're arguing, or we're making points today about providing jobs, being cleaner. It's a safe way to transport the oil. What's the problem with why can't we get this done, in your estimation? Mr. Bowie, you deal with this every day.
I didn't get into the politics of it, but Mr. Booker's comment about the environmental reaction that oil is somehow bad, either in general principle it's bad, and that's not a premise I accept myself.
Okay. Mr. Brenner, what do you think?
You know, all I have to go by is what I listened to in the media, and it sounds like President Obama has an issue with this, and he's being pushed on by constituents that have given him a lot of money.
Mr. Booker, what do you think? Why can't we get this done? You guys got a lot at stake here. You got a lot of jobs, and it's good for the economy. And Mr. Knettel down there, he says there's no greenhouse gas, no emissions problems, environmental problems. What's the holdup?
Right. No doubt, I agree with the doctor, and this is going to create good jobs, good paying jobs. The holdup, I'll say what Mr. Brainerd said. I mean, you look at the media, it boils down to politics. It boils down to the environmental movement calling this, you know, taking this as their major issue and placing pressure on it. But you know, it's our hope and our wish that at the end of the day, we're going to side with jobs, creating good jobs for good Americans.
Okay, I see my time is up, but it looks like we need to find a way in the committee today to diffuse the issue of the environment. It looks like Mr. Knettle has done a good job of talking about it along the way here. So thank you for your testimony today, and I'll yield back.